Hey everyone, it's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. I've got my he, him pronouns out there. I want you guys to start to normalize that and think about how it makes people comfortable. On our show today, I've got Adam Schmidt, and you might not know who Adam Schmidt is if you're new to the Fledge, but he is an OG. He goes way, way back with the Fledge, way into Grand Ledge days. How you doing today, Adam?
Okay, I'm really sorry. 1 second. I have another tab up with your echo about 10 seconds behind, and I cannot even.
That happens to me sometimes too.
Oh, now I hear myself.
Yeah, take that YouTube down, and I do that a lot.
I have to just close all my other tabs and see what happens.
That'll probably do it.
Okay. Yep. Just close Safari. Okay. Sorry about that.
It's no problem.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great too. Don't let that throw you off. We're only here to talk about electrical engineering and performance art technology, not just the technology behind.
Right. And this what's funny is I'm in all these meetings and groups and classes with other sound engineers. I've interned at Schmidt, the microphone company, the past 2 summers, and it always happens that people are trying to use their fancy audio setup and have their own, nice microphone, and their audio is always messed up because they don't have the right settings set, and it happens to me all the time. Here's one. This is a little bit of a different example, but it's funny. The people who care the most about sound end up having the most problems with it on this
it's
online format.
That's always happened to me. That's why I think it's ironic, so it's funny and all of that. But let's get past that. And what my first question to you is to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you're up to these days. And I got a whole bunch of things to say about you. So I'm excited to hear the update.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, I'm currently studying electrical engineering and performing arts technology, specifically pursuing a degree in sound engineering through that program. And I owe it to a lot of people, especially you, for where I am right now. I had a little pen making business in middle school. My grandpa taught me how to make pens. I was struggling this morning to figure out kind of quite exactly how the progression happened. I think I ended up pitching my business at a competition at the Fledge back in must have been 2015 or 2016 at the Fledge in Grand Ledge when it was still there. And that was kind of my introduction. You had me build an X-Carve CNC machine. That was one of the first things I did with the Fledge. I was going to start to try engrave pens with it. I never quite got there, but that kicked another whole interest of mine off. Digital fabrication, using CNC machines and stuff. This green guitar right here is the first guitar I made. I'm only working on the second now, so this was a long project. About I spent about 3 years. It sat around a lot at the time, but that's been kind of my passion, is making things, and I like music. So if I can make something that makes music even better.
You just took everything I was going to say away from you.
Perfect.
No, I'm not. I'm just joking around. I forgot about the X-Carve, actually. That's a whole nother thing, because we were trying to make a guitar.
Yeah.
And that you made that work. That's a whole amazing part of your story. I forgot all about it.
That definitely, veered me somewhere.
You were I think you were the second winner in 2016 of our what we were calling at the time a youth entrepreneurial pitch competition. Now we don't even make a distinction between someone who's young and someone who's older.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody's idea, I mean, your idea was so powerful. Your story was great. Your brand was falling into place. You were an amazing kid. And now, I still want to call you a kid, but you're not at all.
I feel like one.
You're in your 4th year, right? At U of M. You
Yes.
didn't mention U of M.
Yep. If you can see this flag here.
Yes,
on my
go
wall.
blue.
Go blue, absolutely.
I did say go green and go white for the very first time yesterday in my show. I'd never done that before, but it's all right. What do we care?
I grew up in the the Lansing bubble, so I still have the Spartans have a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
In fact, my first couple of years here, I was in the marching band, and we hang out with the MSU tubas all the time. Like we'll drive. I mean, not this year, but in the past years, we'll drive back and forth between East Lansing and Ann Arbor and have parties with them. So the relationship is strong until game day.
Yeah. So you guys are taking that all serious, huh? It must have hurt a little bit this year then. Yeah.
This year, this has been really not just tough for me, of course. It's tough for everyone. I always have to take a step back, and it's not all about me. But my workflow, my productivity is completely flipped on its head, and I still, all this time later, haven't quite figured out how to fix it. And I think back, I remember you introducing me and another kid at the Fledge, and you're introducing me to some people and saying how I was a good student, good at school, and I reflect on that time, and if this is how we did school, then I wouldn't be a good student. So I think it is a reflection of how imperfect the education system is in assessing you with a GPA. I mean, that's nothing new. People have been saying that for a while, but just thinking about how a lot of my success I would not thrive in this situation if this is how I grew up in quarantine and stuff.
You don't think you would have done well in online?
That's a good question. Because maybe I'd be used to it, but we're approaching how many months? 9 months, 10 months in this, 8 months, whatever, and I still have not figured out any sort of rhythm for my days. No matter how hard I try, how many alarms I set, how many schedules I set, how many planners I have, I'm still have not figured it out. So I sympathize with those in school now, and who have been in an education system that has not worked for them, because everyone learns different. This isn't how I learn, or at least not how I learned to learn.
Yeah. So, man, you're making me want to talk about so many things, and we're gonna get to Grand Ledge. We're gonna talk about Grand Ledge a little bit, but not quite ready for that yet.
Okay.
To me, when you came in and you pitched The Right Stuff, that was the name of your pen business.
Yes.
And you told the story of your grandfather teaching you this skill or teaching you this trade. That was amazing in itself. We could have stopped right there and I would have loved you forever. Right. But it wasn't quite that, because I think Raven came at me later on, my daughter that or who and she said, man, he's really good at music. And you then told me about building this guitar, and I'm like, this kid's an engineer. He's not what is this? This is a dichotomy, because I've got this musician who's an engineer that, he's good at math, but he's way too creative to really be an engineer. Well, I was confused. And because you're so, that talent is so rare. And then when you reached out to me, I don't know, if a month ago?
3-4 weeks ago.
And I don't know if I was so excited, not because of the show. It wasn't my first thought. It was like, oh shit, Adam Schmidt remembers who I am. I mean, really, it was like that.
Of course.
And I don't know that people know what a performing arts technology is. Give a hint with the mic, right? You said that earlier, but what does that mean? That's a degree?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's been around for, I think, a while. I should know the history of the program here, specifically at the University of Michigan. I should learn it a little bit better, but it's essentially, they have, a few different programs within the performing arts technology department. You can focus more on the arts side, or you can focus more on the technology side. I'm doing it. I do a dual degree with electrical engineering, so I'm definitely more on the technology side of it. That was something. This degree was actually kind of a compromise with my parents, who wanted me to be an engineer. And I think my sophomore year of high school, I told my mom I wanted to play tuba professionally. I wanted to go to college for tuba, and she laughed at me. Which if I were now just doing the engineering, I may resent, but I'm really glad where that got me. She wanted me to focus on the academics and technology side of it, and I definitely don't regret that at all. So the program is a lot of musical coding. That's the other thing I have up on my second desktop right now is a song I was coding, and then sound engineering, like in a recording studio, learning the history of music technology. So it's a pretty fun, broad program, and lots of people come out of it doing very different things. Some going into industry, some being just an artist for life, a freelancer, or getting residencies. So it's a really cool program, and I'm super. I found out about it 30 days before I had to apply.
So this you may have derailed everything I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
You doing what to a song? You're coding it?
Coding a song. Yes.
Do you mean like programming it? Or
yes.
Okay.
Essentially. It looks like there's probably not a way to share my screen on here, is there? Is that something you want to see?
You can. Yeah, I would love it. I think you might be the first person to do it. So that'd be spectacular.
Screen sharing is easiest with two monitors. Okay,
just do it.
There we go.
So let me just add that. Okay. So it might be hard to read, but regardless, let's talk this, because we all know that it's code, because 90% of us can't understand it.
Right. And I don't understand everything I do. I was telling my housemate, who's also in this program with me last night, how I was trying to get this thing to do one thing. It's really cool. And I think it's actually a really valuable thing to learn how to code music or sound. It's not necessarily music. It can be sound or audio, but it's really valuable because you have this auditory feedback, and your ears work a lot faster and better than your eyes do sometimes. So it helps you build some intuitions. Like, I think this would be a great way to introduce people to coding. The first experience I had with coding was actually a visual programming language, where you've essentially coded blocks moving around, or whatever shapes you wanted to make. And then it moved to this, and that really helped me in some other computer science classes I took, where you don't have any sort of feedback. You make a program and it spits out a number back at you, or sometimes an image. But having this creative application for it builds interest and deeper understanding of it, for sure.
So using programming strategies, like let's just say a while loop.
Yep.
You can get a beat going, right?
Yep. Yes.
So boom, 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 every 3 seconds, or every 3.3 seconds, or whatever. So that's part of it, right?
Yes.
So you can do that. Tell us more, because you could then write a program to write a song that could then go do whatever, right?
Yes. My next assignment, actually for this class, digital sound synthesis, is using the sonification of some data sets. The example data sets we were given were red and white wine sales throughout a few. I don't remember. I have a few years, And so you can, see a correlation between them because people tend to buy certain wines during certain times of the year. I forget which way that goes. Is it white wine during the summer or red wine during the winter? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
probably that.
And it actually gets there. You can start to sonify data like that, and again, you can hear things better than you can see them sometimes. So sometimes it's better to listen to a data set through whatever means you want to use to figure something out that maybe an outlier would be smoothed over in a visual representation, but your ears can pick up on the little nuances.
This is amazing. I didn't know you were going to talk about this.
I didn't know that either.
I'm going to take your code off the screen for a second.
Okay.
So, all right. So I have a degree in statistics, data science from University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Right. I think you know that. We had talked about U of M before, and I was super happy that you were going there. And statistics I've always defined it as the ability to take large data sets and give them a graphical, always meaning visual representation of what the data looks like, and looking for those outliers, looking for that information, looking for that difference. There's a whole conversation about our strength is in our differences, but now you just said sound, right? So I could listen to a control chart. Do you know what a control chart is?
I do not.
It's like if you're measuring a part in production, if you're manufacturing a screw and you're taking the length, it'll vary, but it shouldn't vary too much and it shouldn't follow patterns.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me you could make it so I could hear those patterns, which
absolutely.
I understand. I mean, that little ding. I mean, if it was just that, you would hear it, you would smell it. Are you working on smell-o-vision too?
That's next.
Okay. This is amazing though. I didn't expect us to go there.
I didn't either.
Because I didn't expect that you were going to be looking at data sets to put sound with them. This is you got to keep going. You got to bring me back. I'm floored right now.
The examples that our professor is showing us, I'm going to forget the name of the alum of our we call the program the PAT program, Performing Arts Technology, PAT. A PAT alum, his work, his senior thesis was sonifying some, I think it had something to do with the sun and maybe some solar flares, and sonifying that. And he ended up, I think he does regular work with NASA to sonify data sets, because again, it does take a degree of creativity to figure out how to best present it. It's a little more, well, actually, I don't know if that's true. I was going to say it's a little more nuanced than making a visual graph, but I think a visual graph is just what seems intuitive. That's what we're used to. So it takes some outside of the box thinking, which I haven't got much practice with yet, but some other students have done lots of it.
It's also kind of the reverse of what I'm used to, right? People put a sound together and then I see the graph and it's but instead there's the graph. Here's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Man, yes. I'm loving this a lot. This is going to tie, I on the show last week, I had another college student and he's from Hazlitt. So you two actually, do you know Michael Yusuf?
I don't think so.
He's at EDM. He's from Hazlitt. Anyways, he dropped out of U of M or out of MSU as a mechanical engineer to go out to LA this year to work on his EDM dubstep career.
That's awesome.
Another engineer going out to work on, something similar to this. I'm definitely going to pair your guys' shows together because it's, I don't know. It's just kind of, what are you going to do? What's your future look like? Are you going to start a company? Are you going to, because I know you must have that entrepreneurial thing in you.
I do. That was my, when I interviewed for the program, that was my, my mic drop question at the end. They ask you any questions for us. And that was, the essentially the question is like, I want to once I'm graduated college, I want to use my electrical engineering degree and performing arts technology degree to start some sort of music technology company. Is this program going to give me the tools to do that? And I think it is. It's given me a lot. But I'm starting to really like the art side of things. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. I think if I could have it my way and I could guarantee a stable future, I would build guitars all day in, day out. I mean, the amount of hours I spent on this is not well, it took a lot longer than it should because it was my first guitar. But I loved every minute of it. It costs buying all the tools costs a lot more than just buying a new guitar. But I got it doesn't even work. I don't think I mentioned that. It doesn't even work, but it's still probably one of the things I am most proud of, despite, academics. It's still this piece of art that I've made is my.
It must represent all of just tons of lessons, right?
Yeah.
People say failure and that, and at the Fledge, we don't like that word. We like succeed or learn.
Yeah.
But you must have had lesson after lesson after lesson.
Yeah. Yes. From this alone, there's 100 things wrong with it, and the next one I'm working on, I've already cut out the body, and I've already made lots of mistakes on that. Well, I think you told me back. You're saying I might be thinking of something else? Was it fall forward fast?
Fail forward fast.
Fail forward fast.
Yep. Fail forward fast. Make the mistakes. Get in there. It's like a video game. You don't sit there trying to figure out Mario Kart. You just go play.
Yes.
And once you start playing, you start learning. And once you start learning, you progress.
I've tried to take that to heart with stuff like this, and again, I'm pointing the wrong way now and then, but
yeah, I know this. I can't get it right. I've been doing this for your show 61, by the way.
Very nice. Very
nice. So, man, we're taking a lot more time than I thought. What do you have an idea for a company? What company are you going to start? Come on, let's go. Got to get you in the.
If it could just be anything I wanted to, based on what I know now, and my knowledge, that it would be guitars. In fact, I pitched that to Leap back in my senior year of high school.
At the
it was the youth one,
Youth Entrepreneurial Showcase.
Yes, that was it. And I pitched this guitar technology-based company of putting different sensors in the guitar, touch screens and stuff on the instruments to do it. And I mean, there's better interfaces than that, but I'm glad I had some ideas at the time. And I think if I could, guarantee security with that, I think that would be maybe what I would do.
So, all right. So what's something you do every damn day that kind of pushes your mission forward on what you're trying to do?
I mentioned before how I've kind of lost all rhythm with COVID, and I have there's not really much I'm good at doing every day. The one thing I can think of is, and I still don't do it every day, but I like to make breakfast in the morning. It's almost always the same thing. I heat up some peppers and onions, and then crack an egg in it, and I put some fajita seasoning on that, and I make a cup of coffee, and then I'll eat that on the porch. And I'll listen to a podcast or nothing at all, and just kind of try and take a break from screens. Even if I'm still listening to something, I keep my eyes off of something. And I'm not good at waking up very early, but the days I am the most productive are when I wake up early and watch the sunrise, which sounds a little sappy, but again, it doesn't happen often.
Are you in Ann Arbor?
Yes, I am in Ann Arbor right now.
So I used to live on like the corner of State and Hill. I used to live on State.
Oh, okay.
I've lived on Hill. I've lived on State. I lived in Ipsy. Where you live? You don't have to tell us the address, but generally.
I'm on John Street, right by a couple blocks down from South Quad.
Okay.
It's John Street and Division, really close to like Packard and Division.
Yep, I know where it is.
Yep.
I know where it is.
Way
I got
south
hit by
on
a
campus.
car really near there once. I was out running.
That's what the
So,
track is for.
I know. The track's there.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yesterday on the show, I had a good friend of mine that's from Angola. His name is Lunta Dila, and he wanted to ask you a question because the person from yesterday asked a question, then you're going to ask a question for tomorrow. And his question for you is, if you could have been born anywhere other than the United States, where do you think you would have liked to have been born?
That is a certainly tough question. I haven't done a ton of traveling. Not that is has to drive the decision. But I would say I really enjoyed my time in Germany. I spent a few weeks there this summer after my senior year of high school with our German club, and I really liked it there. I really liked the focus on. At the time, I knew there was a big focus on engineering, and now I know that there's a big music scene in Berlin, and but I also recognize that that's a very Western idea, and I think if I were to given more time to research places I'm much less familiar with, like outside of Europe, then I think I could probably find somewhere better than that. But
yeah,
my knee-jerk answer is Germany.
What city were you in, or cities?
Well, we did a big. We stayed in Lower Saxony for a couple of weeks with the host family, and then we made a big kind of backwards C throughout. I'm not gonna remember every city. Berlin, and it's gonna be the wrong order, but Berlin, Hamburg, Dresden, and then some other, the touristy places like the Neuschwanstein, the big castle.
Cologne?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't. It was a while ago. I should look back at my at the pictures in my phone and see where they all say they were taken.
I've spent time in Germany, and it was Cologne and Frankfurt.
Okay.
Are the two big places. But Berlin is hopping, right?
Yeah.
So,
it was cool.
So I just want to talk about this a little bit, because talking about where we were born, I think, were you born and raised in Grand Ledge? Is that where you were when you were born, or where were you born?
I was born and raised in Eagle, Michigan, just outside of Grand Ledge, and then eventually moved into the city in high school.
Their motto is everything's legal in Eagle.
Is that,
right?
Is that what this? I don't even know. I felt like I was on the outskirts. I know there's definitely a big. It's a little country out there, and it wasn't quite over in there's the central village of Eagle, I think. But
well, we're skirting around something that I'm just going to take us to.
Okay.
You had a Black Lives Matter ring around your profile on Facebook when I was messaging you and stuff like that. And there's been tons of controversy happening in Grand Ledge.
Yeah.
And you said something to me that I'm going to ask you to, if you don't mind, like, what's your take? What's your thought? What's Adam think about all of that?
It was, it's really hard when you are in a small town to recognize your privilege and the good circumstances you have. I was very easy to attribute all of my accolades to myself and think that I worked for everything myself, which of course I did work hard, and that makes no exception to that. But I was given a lot of my experience at the Fledge. I had a family that was supportive and drove me there. I may have been driving by that time, but just an example, I had people that could drive me places when I was selling pens. I couldn't, that was a complete product of support from others that was very easy to forget about. And
your family deserves a shout out. They're amazing. They supported you 100% of the time.
Yes.
They even supported me supporting you. I mean, they were so supportive. It was amazing. So
yes.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out. Sorry for interrupting you.
No. Don't. Thank you. Yeah, they've been great and I wouldn't be in any of the places I've been without them. And it's easy for people to think that they could be in the same place without support like that, and attribute a lot more to themselves than maybe is there. I don't want to, I don't want to undermine. We shouldn't be undermining anyone's successes. I think it is a problem. It's easy to point fingers and say you don't deserve that when everyone should be awarding everyone's successes and making their best efforts to make those available to more people. I think one thing I would love to do when I'm older is have some sort of space like the Fledge to encourage something, even if it's specific to like guitar building or something. Give people an opportunity that they wouldn't have had otherwise. Because you gave me that opportunity of building an X-Carve and learning.
And you gave us an opportunity of having an X-Carve. So I appreciate that. That's a profound statement there, because, it's we could tear everything down and have nothing, or we could build everything up and have everything. And I've always appreciated you and always respected you, because even when you won and even when you had all of that, you seemed like you came from humbleness. You came from appreciation of every little piece of it. So to hear you say that, I'm really super happy about. I knew it would kind of fall into this. Do you see yourself coming back to Grand Ledge, coming back to Lansing, or are you going to do you have to go to New York to do what you're doing? Do you have to be in the West Coast?
I don't know. I don't know at all. I think
here's something I know. Doesn't take salt water to make anything technical.
That's true.
So there's fresh water around here if you want to stick around here.
Maybe. I'm actually thinking about I'm starting to think about like grad school for music technology related stuff, because I like learning and being around other people learning, and I'm a little bit of afraid to go into industry and have a normal job, even though my internship has kind of lined me up for that. I'm very hesitant to keep on going with that, because I think I might end up missing out on the things I really want to do, like making and stuff, which can happen anywhere.
I think that being so special in that you're creative and an engineer, and not that engineers aren't creative, but you've got this creative space and you can dream something and make it, and you can't let that go. Don't let that go.
Okay.
Because it would, and keep going with your education and keep going. But man, to think about you getting a job in the acoustics division of some General Motors plant makes me want to smash rocks.
I know. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'd probably pissed off a bunch of people, but don't do that.
Okay.
So tomorrow on my show is a guy named Matt Zarka. He owns a pawn shop on Saginaw on the west side, close to where we lived. Neither one of us live there anymore, by the way. What question do you have for, his name is Matt Zarka. So what question do you have for Matt? He's also a crypto guy, by the way.
Okay. I think I want to focus on the crypto side of things, because I don't know a lot about it. I've been hearing about it for years. I think the first time I was really introduced to Bitcoin having even some remote tangible side to it was the Bitcoin ATM at the Fledge in when it was still in Grand Ledge, and I didn't understand it then, and I don't really understand it now. So I guess where can someone like me who doesn't know a whole lot about it, what resources are there out there to learn about crypto and what it does for people?
Okay. So, man, there's a lot in that question too, but I'm going to flip that on you. Performing arts technology, I thought you were going to talk about lights. I thought you were going to talk about mics. I thought you were going to talk about, some of those things, and I had devices and equipment and maybe some software in my mind. I did not think you were going to take me to data science. I
didn't think I was going to either.
Where can I learn more about that? That's the question back to you that you asked Matt about crypto.
Okay, let me after the show, I'm going to comment some links on the YouTube video of things I can find, because a lot of it has been just kind of word of mouth, what I've heard from my friends. I mean, like we'll have like meme groups between our classes sending silly things people made that is like a synthetic mouth to make to reproduce speech, but it just looks funny, and it's there's all sorts of cool art and funny stuff. I think the humor is what drives a lot of people when you can make funny beep boop noises. So I'm gonna find some links to comment to you, because I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Mine was all people telling me about things or sending me links. I don't feel like there's really any central location to learn about this kind of stuff.
All right. So I'm gonna take care of a little bit of business, then I'm gonna loop back to you, and we'll finish up here. But First of all, that lady, Miss Betty, Sean, how you doing today? She says hi to you, Adam, and she thinks you're a great guest. Very interesting. She has a YouTube channel where she talks about the journey of helping a parent with dementia and Alzheimer's. So, and she's saying how music plays such a big role in the therapy of Alzheimer's dementia. So, kudos to you and kudos to her. Also, Every Damn Day is every damn day at 2 p.m. on the Fledge's YouTube channel. So please subscribe to that. We've got the hatching tonight, which is something you were going towards, but then, you went to school, which I'm glad you did. But the hatching tonight, we've got 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I always look to our guests to take us out with something wise, something that we don't know, take us out with something, Adam.
Oh, geez. If you wrap your hand around a cardioid microphone, the way a lot of people like to sing, their hand way up by the, way up by here, you turn that cardioid microphone that was previously rejecting any noise from the audience, you actually turn it into an omnidirectional microphone when you do that, and you're going to have a lot of feedback problems like that doing that. So if you're performing, I know it's definitely an aesthetic, so I'm not going to say don't ever hold it and do that, but there are consequences to that. So keep that in mind when you are performing.
Shit, that's going to help me a ton. I'm always will you come be our sound engineer for 3 days and just teach me how to use this?
Of course.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. It was great to catch up with you. Great to figure out what you're doing and hear about all of this. You are always invited to come to the Fledge. We would love to see you and love to catch up. So if you ever come home, stop by and visit us.
Absolutely.
And if you ever need anything, we got your back. All right, Adam?
Thank you. So it's great being here.
It was great having you. Keep fighting the good fight. I'll see you later, man.
See ya.